I forgive the past and all I can't take back. I'm better for the good times that we had. I'm open to this moment, letting go at last. I forgive the past. And I forgive the past and the fear that held me back, and choosing less than I was meant to have. I'm open to this moment, letting go at last. I forgive the past. I can't go back there. I should know I've tried, but I can't offer my amends as soon as I decide I forgive the past. And I forgive the past and the fear that held me back, and choosing less than I was meant to have. I'm open to this moment, letting go at last. I forgive the past. I'm open to this moment, letting go at last.
A blessed and beautiful day to you, my friend. This is Marina, and I invite you to join me in meditation today. Let's begin with a few deep and deliberate breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. Now let your breath find its own rhythm and pace. While you continue to have awareness of your breath, I invite you to stay really connected to your body. It might help to choose one body part to focus on, perhaps the hands, or the feet, or the belly. Pay attention to what you feel there. Is it relaxed, or is there tension? Notice any movement. Notice any sensations, such as clothing or the temperature of the room against the skin. For now, just notice the sensations and see if you can keep your focus there.
There's a treasure map hidden in the depth of your soul.
If you find that map and you take that path, it will lead you to the golden heart of hearts,
Overflowing
with knowing and bliss.
if you get that far.
Just keep going, remembering this. Do what your heart says you should do. It's the most precious part of you. That's where the answers come, when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for the truth. Do what your heart says.
And when the ones you trust to be fair and just turn on you,
And you're all alone in the great unknown, and you don't know what you should do.
find your heart of hearts overflowing
With knowing and play.
if you get that far.
Just keep going, remembering this. Do what your heart says you should do.
It's the most precious part of you.
That's where the answers come, when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for the truth. Do what your heart says.
It tells you who you're meant to be, and gives you the strength to your dreams. Do what your heart says you should do.
It's the most precious part of you.
That's where the answers come, when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for the truth.
Do what your heart says. Do what your heart says.
There's a treasure map hidden in the depth of your soul.
If you find that map and you take that path, it will lead you to the golden heart of hearts,
Overflowing
with knowing and bliss.
if you get that far.
Just keep going, remembering this. Do what your heart says you should do. It's the most precious part of you. That's where the answers come, when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for the truth. Do what your heart says.
And when the ones you trust to be fair and just turn on you,
And you're all alone in the great unknown, and you don't know what you should do.
find your heart of hearts overflowing
With knowing and bliss.
if you get that far.
Just keep going, remembering this. Do what your heart says you should do.
It's the most precious part of you. That's where the answers come, when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for the truth. Do what your heart says. It tells you who you're meant to be, and gives you the strength to believe. Don't settle for less than your dreams. Do what your heart says you should do.
It's the most precious part of you.
That's where the answers come, when your thoughts are calm and you're searching for the truth.
Do what your heart says. Do what your heart says.
Good morning, CSL St. George. We're an open and loving and inclusive community that supports thinking creatively and living a deeply spiritual life. We welcome you today to our service. We have a great lineup today. Marina tried to do the meditation. She had it all prepared, but something went wrong with our sound. So we were so sorry about that. And Cheryl Barlow is going to be our music director today, and she's always awesome. And Mary Klein will do our invocation. And Gwen is going to read our Sacred Covenant, and our special message today is from Reverend Hannah Rothlin, and we're so delighted to have her with us today. Right now, let's sing.
Let's sing. Great
Let's
idea.
sing.
Thank you, Star. Woo. Glad to be here. Come together, heart and soul, as we love together. Young and old, we will sing together, together in one song. Come together, from different worlds we are drawn together. In our own way we can pray together. Together we are strong. I see God in you. You see God in me. One path, one vision, one family. Now I'm going to welcome Mary Klein to the service, and she is going to do our invocation today. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, everyone. I invite you at this moment to simply take this moment to move within. And if it feels right for you, to close your eyes, sit comfortably on your chair, and I will begin. Our topic this week is Journey to Freedom. Accepting greater possibility on our journey to freedom is the only thing that makes the true difference between experience a fuller life or continuing on a path of struggle. So many times in life, it can be difficult to see the great possibilities to lead us on our freedom journey. Right where the realization of God is, the infinite presence of all empowering good exists with God. God, the power that knows and the power that provides, expresses itself through all of eternity, making perfect preparation for greater possibility to be experienced through our freedom journey. Everything is an endless demonstration of infinite good. I am one with that infinite good. I know that all that I am is the perfect expression of that good. Right now, right here. Every cell of my being is God being. Every nuance of my mind is an activity that takes place through the one infinite mind of endless possibilities along my journey. I know this for me, and I know this for everyone participating today, either live or engaging later with this gathering. Realizing that the only thing that stands between me and greater freedom are things of my thoughts. I now surrender anything that pretends to express itself as the only possibility in my life, limiting me in my expansion. I know that there is an endless amount of potential within me, and I call that forth now to demonstrate and reveal itself in a way that is most useful and most helpful to me and to everyone around me. I honor life by accepting greater possibilities for myself on my freedom journey. I know, as I know this for myself, that there is a greater revelation of the presence of God within me. I see it and I feel it now. I know that God, Spirit within me, has already paved the way for everything I desire to demonstrate. I accept this as this one truth, and I am now set free by it. I am the expression of greater personal freedom. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Mary. Now these lyrics, as you can see, are on your screen. Feel free to affirm these words with me as we come together this morning. Come together, heart and soul, as we love together. Young and old, we will sing together, together in one song. Come together, from different worlds we are drawn together. In our own way we can pray together. Together we are strong. I see God in you. You see God in me. One path, one vision, one family. Come together, dreams in hand, we will join together to build a place we can grow together. Together we are home. I see God in you. You see God in me. One path, one vision, one family. Come together, heart and soul, as we love together. Young and old, we will sing together, together in one song. Together, together in one song. One more time. Together in one song. And now I'm going to introduce Gwen Hadley. Gwen, thank you for reading our Sacred Covenant today. Good to see you.
Thank you, Cheryl. I was singing my little heart out.
Yay!
I love that song.
Me too.
So I am so pleased to read this powerful covenant, and I invite you at home to please read it aloud with me. It has more power and I think intent if we do it together. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life, I know that I am one with all its blessed expressions, which include the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know the highest purpose of my new minister is to express God, I therefore know that my new minister reveals wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which we believe, for it is written, this is by Ernest Holmes, let us learn to draw the divine substance down into our own lives, and as freely as it has been given to us, let us give it to others. Thus alone shall we be made whole. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as growing the center in joy and prosperity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing the truth about myself, for I live the presence and law of God. I demonstrate wisdom through a mature understanding of the wholeness of life. I am accountable and willing to take full responsibility for my actions. I participate in and support the nurturance and guidance of the community. I act from wholeness and congruence in thought, word, and action. I walk the talk. Please put your personal truth here. I embrace I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, knowing that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am so grateful, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. So this month's theme is One Journey, Many Paths, and today's talk's focus is Journey to Freedom. The affirmation that Home Office created for today's focus reads, "Love acts through me, and the law of love frees us all." A great quote to illustrate this comes from author and activist Anne Lamott, who's one of my favorites. And she said, "Again and again, I tell God I need help. And God says, well, isn't that fabulous? Because I need help too. So you go get that old woman over there some water, and I'll figure out what we're going to do about your stuff." This beautiful opportunity of letting love act through us and inspiring each other and working in community is, of course, what the magic is all about. And this song is a reminder of that. I wonder if I was as brave as you are. When I was your age, was I laughing with stars? I know you understand the answers that you seek are only a distraction. The questions run deep. Can you tell? Do you feel it? Take a breath, invite the healing. Letting go the better than loving from the great I am. Keep on believing. I wonder if I knew my heart like you do. Did it dance with shadows and search for the truth? I know you never would have ever just walked by a midnight blue ocean on a pink sunset sky. Can you tell? Do you feel it? Take a breath, invite the healing. Letting go the better than loving from the great I am. Keep on believing. Can you tell? Do you feel it? Take a breath, invite the healing. Letting go the better than loving from the great I am. Keep on believing. And now I'm going to pass back over to Star, and she will introduce our speaker.
Hi, everyone. Oh, I love that song so much. I want to hear it more often. Our speaker today is Reverend Hannah Rothlin, and I'm so proud of bringing her back on because she is awesome. And I just wanted to say, Reverend Hannah, I've so enjoyed your last retreat where we did the mind mapping or whatever it was. It was excellent. And I invite anyone to do any of Reverend Hannah's uh, projects because they are beautiful. She does them very well. Anyway, thanks for coming today and sharing with us your wisdom and knowledge. And here we go.
Here we go. Hello, everyone. It is so awesome to be with all of you today. And this idea of journey to freedom. Oh, one way we can find freedom is to just take a deep breath. And when we just take a deep breath, it brings us to the moment. And there is something about being in the moment that lets the past and the future fall away. And there is a freedom that comes when I'm not holding the weight of the past or trying to figure out the future. So I'm just going to invite all of us to turn within if that feels comfortable for you, letting your eyes close. And drawing in a deep breath. Literally drawing yourself back to the truth of who you are in this very moment. As Gwen so beautifully spoke in the Sacred Covenant, there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And just feeling the freedom of recognizing that there's just one. And it is right where you are. It is right where I am. So letting your eyes open, and maybe there was 1 second of freedom in touching on a spiritual truth, which is unchangeable. There is just one life. That life is God's life. That life is spirit. That life is truth. That life is love. That life is freedom. And that life is my life now. That life is your life now. So thank you for setting the stage today. I just have to do a shout out to the Sunday service team. That is amazing. Star, thank you for being such a wonderful host, and a shout out for the workshop that we did last week. Yes, it was awesome to remember that we can mind map our desires for our life. Last week, Chris introduced very spontaneously this idea that the mind map is a way that we can plot our journey to our desired life. And so we got to practice in the practice workshop last week of What is that journey? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to experience more of your own truth? And it was a wonderful journey for those who participated. And every month we're going to do practice. We're going to practice whatever the monthly theme is. So if you missed out last week, next month in March, we'll be having another practice workshop, and each month we'll practice whatever the theme is. I just so appreciated the song that Cheryl sung. Thank you, Cheryl. Keep on, keeping on. This journey of freedom is achieved one step at a time. And the picture that I have up here for the month of February is a woman with a backpack. And she's at a fork in the road. And she's got to make a choice of which path to take. And this is so symbolic of our path to freedom. And our path to freedom is one of consciousness. It is one of realizing the power of our thought, that we can choose a different path at any time. So I thought that today, maybe what kept coming up for me when I knew that this topic was mine to speak about, I had to look back at my own journey of freedom. Where did that start, and how did that journey bring me to here? And that, it's been going on for 60 years now. But I thought I would look at some of the significant paths, the significant choices that came along the way that helped me to find this path of freedom, which I realize now is within the power of my thought and learning about truth. Truth with a capital T. Truth with a capital T is there's just one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. So I want to start a story. I'm just going to tell a story. And the story for me, as I reflected on this topic, began when I was a teenager. I was the last of 4 children in our family. And by the time my mother got to me when I was a teenager, she had let go of her religious beliefs as a Presbyterian. So in essence, there was a hint of this idea that we were Presbyterian when I grew up. I never went to Sunday school. I never went to church. I didn't really have anything that was solid in my life. And I had an inner urging of wondering if there was something out there, if there was something meaningful. And so the blessing for me is I had a clean slate. Earlier this month, Joe talked about our one journey, many paths. Sometimes people are brought up with a faith tradition that later on in adult life, they might need to unlearn that so that they can find a path of freedom. So the good news for me is I had a clean slate. And so as a teenager, I actually went searching for truth. Seemed to me life was very unpredictable in growing up, and it wasn't very steady. So there was something in me that was looking for something that was steady, something that wasn't like the ground moving underneath me. And so I grew up in a small town in Northern California, St. Helena, Napa Valley, a town of about 5,000. And there were 5 churches. And I had some independent streak. I decided to go to all of those churches. They were all Christian churches. And I sat and I listened. And I was listening for truth, which was what resonated to me, what felt right to me. And the one that sounded felt right to me was I landed in a Christian Science church. And I remember walking in the door and looking up above at the top of the door, and it said, "Know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So that saying, which is in the Bible and chapter of John 8, I think 23, that has been sort of an inner mantra in my life along the way. So there was something in me when I saw that, it resonated. The other thing that sort of resonated for me at the time in the Christian Science church, it said something about the power of our mind and how the power of our mind can heal. And there was something about that just resonated for me. And so I began a journey of seeking. When I left home and left, I signed up for Sunday school, and I went to Sunday school, and I learned while I was in Sunday school. When I left home and I left that area, and ended up going to college. When I went to college, somewhere a seed got planted in me that there was nothing, that there was no God, there was no something bigger, that it was all you could see. There was only what you could see. It was this life and that was it. So I actually tried that on. I tried on that way of thinking that there wasn't a higher power. There wasn't anything else, that this was it, one life, that's it. And I tried that on. I tried that on for 7 or 8 years. But something was missing. Something was missing. It didn't feel right. And another fork in the road presented itself when someone said, "Have you heard of Reverend Mary?" And I was like, "No." And someone said, "You have to go hear her speak. She's amazing." It's like, well, okay. So I was in Santa Rosa at the time, and Reverend Mary Murray Shelton was a religious science minister. And when I didn't know that women could be ministers, and when I walked into that place, it was the beginning of another fork in the road. And I remembered really the message rang true. Know the truth, and the truth will set you free. There is just one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That is my life now. There was something about that that felt rich and alive and vibrant and filled with possibilities. It was much different than being a non-believer. And so that was a fork in the road that I have continued to travel down. And this idea of freedom, what this philosophy has brought in my own life, was the freedom to choose. The thing that helped me feel confident that this path and studying this path of science of mind and spirit is that we encourage everyone to be a thinker. We encourage everyone to take in what feels right for you and leave the rest. Ernest Holmes said, the founder of Science of Mind, said, we're a teaching philosophy, not a preaching philosophy. So as a teaching philosophy, we encourage study. And the essence of the Science of Mind philosophy it is a synthesis of all of the world traditions. And what is it that connects all of them? What is it that they all have in common? And it comes back to there is just one. There is one life. That life is spirit. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That life is your life now. So in my journey, I was encouraged, we are all encouraged to study and find the things that feel right for us. So as a teaching philosophy rather than a preaching philosophy. I know that other traditions have the belief that there is just one way and that's the only way. And there's an aspect of you gotta believe some things that sometimes don't feel quite right. But when you're told or preached at, told what to do, what to think, how to be, that can be not feel right. And so what I loved about our philosophy was the encouragement to study, the encouragement to go within and what feels right in your heart. I love the opening song that we play, which is follow your heart. Follow where there is energy. Follow where there is bliss. Follow what is right for you. Now, Ernest Holmes says when we come to a fork in the road, how do we decide which fork to take? And one of the things that he has said is if that fork, if that decision allows greater love, greater peace, greater truth, and brings harm to none, does not bring harm to anyone else, then that is the road of truth for you, or that is the path to take. Someone else said along the way that was very helpful for me, it was when you come to a fork in the road, take one. like, oh, take one. When you come to a fork in the road, go within, ask for inner guidance, and choose and go down that path. You will learn something. And isn't that how our life is? As we go along in our life, we continue to come to forks in the road. We make choices. Sometimes those choices bring us joy, and sometimes those choices bring us pain. Sometimes choices, life experiences happen, and we don't always have choice, but we have choice about how we want to be with whatever that is that comes to us. We can't always choose what comes, but we can choose how we want to be with that. So know the truth, and the truth will set you free. On the journey of learning, often in my life, it was deconstructing old beliefs. It was deconstructing the beliefs that maybe I was taught as a young person, or that I came to believe that there were certain ways that I was supposed to be. I was supposed to do certain things. It was other people's expectations. There was an aspect of trying to please others. And along this journey of the science of mind and truth with a capital T, there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. So the journey with many forks, the journey of keeping on, taking one step at a time, moving in the direction of that calling of greater truth. Part of my path, along with studying the science of mind and learning the power of my mind, that there is a power in the universe, and that power can be used. I can use that power, and I can let that power use me as love, as compassion, as peace. I also had a concurrent journey of studying nature-based beliefs. So behind me is a picture of a forest and a stream. And I appreciated learning that Ernest Holmes had a strong connection with nature. And in essence, he says that nature is the body of God. That all is divine, and that nature herself is the body of God, is the body of love, is the body of spirit. And so there were two very important things on my journey to freedom as I have found this path. In our philosophy, we have practitioners. And a practitioner is someone who is trained in knowing the truth of your being. A practitioner has taken classes for at least 3 years and has gone through a licensing process. We also call them spiritual counselors. On my journey as a student of science of mind, I met with practitioners along the way that helped me see the truth of who I was. On my journey of learning and growing, and maybe you've experienced this too, there are times where we cannot see past the trees. We can't see the bigger forest. And a beautiful thing about our philosophy is we have trained spiritual counselors who are available to be a mirror of truth with capital T. And when we can't see that for ourselves, there are others who will reflect back to us the truth of our being. A practitioner or spiritual counselor is trained to see past the story and the experiences to truth. We see past the circumstances. A practitioner sees the truth of who you are, that you are whole, perfect, and complete. You're a divine expression of God, of the One, that you're here on purpose, that there is a bigger knowing, that there is a greater truth that is beyond the circumstances that you're experiencing. A practitioner reflects back that there is one life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, and that life is your life. And so along my journey, practitioners helped me to see the things that I couldn't see along the way. Sometimes, as we all know, sometimes things, old beliefs, have to fall away so that we can see a bigger truth. An old belief of pain or shame or regret or lack of forgiveness. I think one of the biggest revelation, or the many forks that led to freedom in my life, was the realization of the importance of forgiveness over and over and over. Forgiveness of others, and what was even harder was forgiveness of myself. Again, working with a practitioner or a minister or spiritual counselors to help us remember the truth. And as we remember the truth will set us free. In the second week of this month, Elijah talked about principle is not bound by precedent. Principle is not bound by precedent. What that means is principle, spiritual principle, which is truth with a capital T. Truth, capital T, we believe is truth that is unchangeable. The truth is there is just one, by many names. There is only love. There is only peace. There is only goodness. And in the midst of whatever is taking place of what feels like unrest, when we can anchor ourselves in truth, in love, in peace, in spirit, that one truth will always be steady, will always be a foundation that we can build our lives on. In this month's Science of Mind, or in this month, in today's reading of the Science of Mind magazine, this is this month's. This is a foundation for my daily spiritual practice. Ernest Holmes says, "You exist, divine feeling, fire, imagination, and creativity may be expressed through you. The spirit comes to you with news and fresh creativity. Be yourself. Express life as you find it. Never imitate. Trust yourself. Trust God in you as you." So when we talk about the journey of freedom, we each have a different path of what that means. One journey, many paths. And like the song that Cheryl sung earlier, keep on keeping on. Keep following your heart. We always talk about 5 things to do in our philosophy to keep us on the path of truth: prayer, meditation, study, service, and giving. Meditation, turning within, listening to that inner voice. Prayer, speaking out loud. We call it affirmative prayer. Speak the truth of what it is you desire. Affirming that there is just one. That one is God. There is just one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That life is your life now. So before I close with the affirmation, in the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes said, "The idea of freedom or free will is the seed of freedom must be planted in our own being, kind of like the prodigal son and daughter. We must discover it for ourselves." So we've been given this freedom, the road to freedom, to find ourselves, to take a path, to continue down a path and make choices along the way. And we make those choices by going within and asking, does this bring about greater good for myself, and does it bring harm to none? So as we find our own path of freedom, we also have the responsibility to help others along the way. I'm reminded that February is Black History Month, and we have so much growth in our country to do, to realize that we all need to be free, that we are all equals. There is much work that there is to be done. And as we remember the truth of who we are, just like a practitioner reflected back for me the truth of my being, and now I want to reflect back to you that you are a divine expression of God. You are here for a reason and a purpose. So join me in the closing affirmation, if you would. Love acts through me, and the law of love frees us all. So let's just turn within and bring that affirmation into our hearts. As we turn within, closing your eyes if you feel comfortable to do that, We turn away from the outer circumstances of life. We turn away from the outer world and we bring our attention to the inner world. And I invite us to take that journey from the head down into the heart. The heart, which is love. The heart that emanates the truth of our being. That because the heart beats, we are here for a reason. That life is breathing its breath through each one of us. So there is only one life. That life is God. That life is spirit. That life is truth. There are many names, but there is only one. And what we believe in our philosophy is that one lives and breathes and moves and has its being in each one of us, as us. And what we know is we have been given freedom to choose the paths that we want to take in our lives. And so it is from this place of choice. I choose freedom. I choose love. I choose compassion. I choose truth with a capital T. And as I choose this for myself, I speak my word for everyone that hears my voice in this moment, whether it is right here, right now, or whether it is later in this week. I affirm and know for each one of us that we are divine expressions of the One, that we have within us everything that we need to move us in the direction in that journey of freedom, the freedom of letting go of those things that no longer serve us and making the choices that make our lives full and joyous and purposeful and loving. So I choose love in every circumstance. I choose compassion in those places that I may not understand. I choose peace. And so right here and right now, I am knowing that that one mind and that one life and that one truth of God is guiding each and every one of us. And as we turn within, we listen to our own inner guidance. And that inner guidance will guide us on each path that we take moving towards freedom. So when we are standing at the fork in the road, we take a deep breath and we ask for that inner wisdom to reveal that which is for the highest and greatest good and the harm of none. So I know that there is just one mind. That is the mind of God. That mind is perfect. That mind is mine now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. And that is my life now. That is your life now. That is our lives now. So I let this prayer go, knowing that all is well, that each one of us is on our perfect and right path, no matter what it looks like, that each one of us, individually and collectively, are creating a world that works for all. So knowing that all is well, I let this go I let it be, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Hannah. Another wonderful, wonderful talk on the truth. And the truth will set you free. I know this to be a fact. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So today, we are spreading the love. You can confirm your membership today. We invite you to continue to spread the love with us here at CSL St. George. And to do that, we still need to have you support us in ways that are comfortable for you. You can give by text, you can give online, or you can give by mail. And all of our links are right here in front of you, and they're posted both on Facebook, our newsletter, and they're also posted on YouTube. So you will be able to find all of those things here. Announcements for today. We have a new book for our book club, Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. So join us with Sue Fulmer on Tuesday, March 9th from 6 to 7 p.m. on Zoom for a lively, insightful discussion on your journey. And Sue has wonderful people that join these groups, and they have a great conversation. So feel free to check in on that. And we're still looking for a minister. We do have some things in the works, but we're not sure what's going to happen right now, except that we know that this one mind, this one spirit, this one perfect being that is moving in and through us all is finding that perfect minister right now. So visit our website if you have information or if you want to learn more information. You can feel free to contact us directly. Thank you. We'd like you to join the community conversation at noon after our service. The Zoom link is in the newsletter on our Friday reminder, or it's on our website. We are here to support you. We have a community care circle and that provides compassionate support and care through calls and prayer. If you need a prayer, you can send us your request and our practitioners will support you for any of your circumstances in life. And you can email it or call us. Join us next Sunday for Joe Kovac is returning to give us a look-see into living the question of a high idea. And then March 14th, Reverend Elijah Christopher is going to grace us with release and let go. And I love both of those subjects. Now we're going to bring everybody on and we're going to do a closing affirmation with you all. You can all repeat this by yourself or join in with us. And here we go. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all that I do.
I am it, I embrace it, and I share it.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is becoming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Happy
See ya.
Sunday. See you
Bye.
next week.